Let's talk about one of the major differences between English learners and fluent English speakers: tenses and using them correctly. English tenses tell us when something happens in the past, the present, or the future.
Hello, everyone. There are 12 main tenses in English, and we both strongly believe that mastering these tenses is an extremely important step in becoming an advanced level English speaker. We'll go through each one, when you should use it, with many examples. We'll finish the lesson with the most common tense mistakes that beginner and intermediate speakers make. Ready?
Absolutely, Jen. Let's start with the present tenses. There are 4 present tenses: simple present, simple continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous.
The present simple tense is used for things that are always true, routines and habits. For example, I eat breakfast every morning. She works in a bank. The sun rises in the east. How to form the present simple. For most verbs, use the base form. Add s or es for he, she, and it. I play football. He plays football.
The present continuous tense is used for actions happening right now or around now. For example, I am eating lunch right now. She is reading a book. They are playing soccer. How to form the present continuous? Use am, is, are plus verb plus ing. I am working. You are working. He is working.
The present perfect tense is used for actions that happen at an unspecified time before now. It's also used for actions that started in the past and continue in the present. For example, I have seen that movie. She has finished her homework. They have lived here for 5 years. How to form the present perfect. Use have or has and past participle. A past participle is a verb form used in perfect tenses and passive voice. I have worked. He has worked.
Present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous tense is used for actions that started in the past and are still continuing or have just finished. For example, I have been studying for 3 hours. She has been working here since 2019. They have been playing soccer all afternoon. How to form the present perfect continuous. Use have or has plus been plus the verb plus ing. I have been working. He has been working.
Moving on to past tenses. There are also 4 past tenses: past simple, past continuous, past perfect continuous.
The past simple tense is used for actions that happened and finished at a specific time in the past. For example, I visited Paris last year. She watched a movie yesterday. They played soccer last week. How to form the past simple tense. For regular verbs, add ed. For irregular verbs, they have their own unique forms. I worked. I went.
The past continuous tense is used for actions that were happening at a specific time in the past. For example, I was eating dinner at 7 p.m. last night. She was reading a book when I called. They were playing soccer all afternoon. How to form the past continuous. Use was or were plus verb plus ing. I was working. You were working.
The past perfect tense is used for actions that were completed before another action in the past. For example, I had finished my homework before dinner. She had left when I arrived. They had played soccer before it started raining. How to form the past perfect. Use had plus past participle. I had worked. He had worked.
The past perfect continuous tense is used for actions that were happening over a period of time before another action in the past. For example, I had been studying for 2 hours before the power went out. She had been working at that company for 5 years before she quit. They had been playing soccer for an hour before it started raining. How to form the past perfect continuous. Use had plus been plus verb plus ing. I had been working.
Now let's look at the future tenses. There are 4 future tenses: future simple, future continuous, future perfect, future perfect continuous.
The future simple tense is used for actions that will happen in the future. For example, I will travel to Japan next year. She will start her new job tomorrow. They will play soccer this weekend. How to form the future simple. Use will plus the base form of the verb, I will work.
The future continuous tense is used for actions that will be happening at a specific time in the future. For example, I will be eating dinner at 7 p.m. tomorrow. She will be reading a book at 10 p.m. They will be playing soccer all afternoon. How to form the future continuous. Use will be plus the verb plus ing. I will be working.
The future perfect tense is used for actions that will be completed before a specific time in the future. For example, I will have finished my homework by dinner time. She will have left by the time you arrive. They will have played soccer by the time it gets dark. How to form the future perfect. Use will have plus past participle. I will have worked.
The future perfect continuous tense is used for actions that will be happening over a period of time before a specific time in the future. For example, I will have been studying for 2 hours by the time you arrive. She will have been working at the company for 5 years next month. They will have been playing soccer for an hour by the time it gets dark. How to form the future perfect continuous. Use will have been plus verb plus ing. I will have been working.
Let's move on to discuss some common tense mistakes that many intermediate English learners make. One common mistake is mixing up the present simple and the present continuous tenses. The present simple is used for routines, habits, and facts. For example, I drink coffee every morning. She works at a bank. The present continuous is used for actions happening right now or around now. For example, I am drinking coffee right now. She is working on a project. Common mistake, using the present continuous for routines. Incorrect. I am drinking coffee every morning. Correct. I drink coffee every morning.
Let's practice. Choose the correct tense for the following sentences. I am going to the gym every day, or I go to the gym every day. She is working on a project right now, or she works on a project right now.
Here are the correct sentences. I go to the gym every day. She is working on a project right now.
Past simple versus present perfect. Another common mistake is confusing the past simple with the present perfect. The past simple is used for actions that happened at a specific time in the past. For example, I visited Paris last year. She watched a movie yesterday. The present perfect is used for actions that happened at an unspecified time before now, or actions that started in the past and continue to the present. For example, I have visited Paris. She has watched that movie. Using the past simple when the present perfect is needed is a common mistake. This is incorrect. I visited Paris. This is correct. I have visited Paris.
Let's try another exercise. Choose the correct tense for the following sentences. I saw that movie last week. Or, I have seen that movie last week. She finished her homework. Or, she has finished her homework.
Here are the correct sentences. I saw that movie last week. She has finished her homework.
Will versus going to. Students often mix up will and going to when talking about the future. Will is used for decisions made at the moment of speaking, promises, offers, and predictions based on opinions. For example, I will help you with that. She will probably come to the party. Going to is used for plans or intentions made before the moment of speaking and for predictions based on evidence. For example, I am going to visit my grandma next week. Look at those clouds. It's going to rain. Common mistake is using will instead of going to for plans. This is incorrect. I will visit my grandma next week. This is correct. I am going to visit my grandma next week.
Let's practice. Choose the correct phrase for the following sentences. I will visit my grandma next week. Or, I am going to visit my grandma next week. She will probably come to the party. Or, she is going to probably come to the party.
Here are the correct sentences. I am going to visit my grandma next week. She will probably come to the party.
Incorrect tense sequences. Sometimes students use the wrong sequence of tenses in complex sentences. When talking about two actions that happened at different times, use the correct sequence of tenses. For example, when I arrived, she had already left. A common mistake is using the same tense for both actions. This is incorrect. When I arrived, she already left. Whereas this is correct. When I arrived, she had already left.
Let's try another exercise. Correct the following sentences. When I arrived, they ate dinner. After she finished her homework, she watched TV.
Here are the correct sentences. When I arrived, they had eaten dinner. After she had finished her homework, she watched TV.
It's easy to mix up tenses when talking about habits and routines. Use the present simple for habits and routines. For example, I go to the gym every day. A common mistake is using the present continuous for habits. This is incorrect. I am going to the gym every day. This is correct. I go to the gym every day.
Let's practice. Choose the correct tense for the following sentences. She is drinking tea every morning, or she drinks tea every morning. He is reading the newspaper every day, or he reads the newspaper every day.
Here are the correct sentences. She drinks tea every morning. He reads the newspaper every day.
The past perfect tense is often used incorrectly. The past perfect is used for actions that were completed before another action in the past. For example, I had finished my homework before dinner. A common mistake is using the past simple instead of the past perfect. This is incorrect. I finished my homework before dinner. This would be correct. I had finished my homework before dinner.
Let's try another exercise. Correct the following sentences. By the time I arrived, he left. She went home after she finished her work.
Here are the correct sentences. By the time I arrived, he had left. She went home after she had finished her work.
The future perfect tense can also be tricky. The future perfect is used for actions that will be completed before a specific time in the future. For example, I will have finished my homework by 7 p.m. A common mistake is using the simple future instead of the future perfect. This is incorrect. I will finish my homework by 7 p.m. This is correct. I will have finished my homework by 7 p.m.
Let's practice. Choose the correct tense for the following sentences. By next month, I will live here for 1 year. By next month, I will have lived here for 1 year. She will finish her project by tomorrow. She will have finished her project by tomorrow.
Here are the correct sentences. By next month, I will have lived here for 1 year. She will have finished her project by tomorrow.
Great job, everyone. Let's recap what we've learned today. We've discussed common mistakes with present simple versus present continuous, past simple versus present perfect, will versus going to, incorrect tense sequences, using the wrong tense for habits and routines, incorrect use of past perfect, and the incorrect use of the future perfect.
Here are some tips to help you avoid these common tense mistakes. Know the rules. Make sure you understand when to use each tense. Practice regularly. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Read and listen. Pay attention to how tenses are used in books, articles, and conversations.
Remember, practice is key. Keep reading, writing, and speaking English as much as you can. Don't worry about making mistakes. They're a natural part of learning. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be more confident with your tenses.
Until next time, keep learning.
And we'll talk soon.